West Lions are going to be facing the Parkway Central Colts. Ray Halbrook, Brian Kaplinger, Matt Bates.
Parkway Central comes in 0-7, Northwest 3-4. Been a long time since Northwest has an opportunity to either break even or look for a winning season.
I don't know that it's an easy game by any stretch at all, but we feel pretty good with the group of kids we have. We feel pretty good about what we're going to try to do offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And we think that if we, execute our plan and play discipline.
Well, good evening and welcome to the Lions Den at Northwest High School in Cedar Hill, Missouri. The Northwest Lions are going to be facing the Parkway Central Colts. Ray Halbrook, Brian Kaplinger, Matt Bates.
Parkway Central comes in 0-7, Northwest 3-4. Been a long time since Northwest has an opportunity to either break even or look for a winning season.
I don't know that it's an easy game by any stretch at all, but we feel pretty good with the group of kids we have. We feel pretty good about what we're going to try to do offensively, defensively, and on special teams. And we think that if we, execute our plan and play disciplined and play as well as we did last week, we're going to definitely give ourselves the chance to compete and get a win on Friday night.
Big threat with his legs as well from the quarterback position. He's going to keep this one, go up the middle, called his own number, fighting for the end zone, lunging forward, looking for the call. They're going to say he's in for a touchdown. So Colin Starks with the touchdown run for the Lions. So Belcher again lines up to the left of Stark. He's going to keep it. This time is Stark. He's going to bust up the middle. Looks like he's going to be in for another touchdown. Give him a 15-yard touchdown run here with 1:43 remaining in the. He's going to fake the handoff to Spratt, and he is going to be met in the backfield. Somehow gets away, finds an open receiver. That is going to be Frazier as he is down the sideline into the end zone. They're checking to see if he was out of bounds. He is not. So take it to the house, young man. Frazier with a 51-yard touchdown run. They set up in a tight formation. Belcher going to get this one. He's looking to the left side. He's going to wiggle his way through the offensive line for the fourth touchdown of the night for the Lions. About the Lions, they've really kind of stuck to their game plan, but they've shown this ability to hit these short passes, these intermediate passes, and it's really kind of opened up the run game. I mean, you talk about Spratt, who's been everything as advertised. He's your downhill runner. He's going to run over people. He's going to put his shoulder pads on you, and then on the flip side, on the defense, he's just going to look for the ball and kind of become that bloodhound. And he's going to start here. Belcher, Frazier, and Knuckles on the field in the receivers. He's going to hand it off. This is number 15. That is going to be Will Murphy, who breaks it to the edge and dives into the end zone for a Northwest touchdown. They're going to hand it off to Murphy again, and he busts up the middle, and he's going to be in for another touchdown.
His first two touchdowns of the season.
That's it. So 41-0 now our score as the Lions are pouring it on. And they're just going to say with the play clock, they're going to let this one run out. And that will be the final for our score here. Northwest Lions 42, Parkway Central Colts 0.
Well, good Monday to everybody, and welcome to another episode of Upon Further Review. Ray Halbrook here from Livestream STL Media. Hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. We've got a big show in front of us here, and unfortunately, no Jeff Whitener this week, but we do have Matt Bates. Matt, my friend, how you doing?
We're doing. We're as cool as the other side of the pillow, my friend.
I love it. Well, another fun week here of week 8, but not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 games that we've got to cover about ourselves that we covered for Livestream STL. Broke another record this week for most games in a week for football. So fun stuff there, and I'll buzz through all of these real fast, and we'll just kind of pick apart our live stream STL games here shortly. Parkway Central loses to Northwest 42-0. St. Genevieve beats Jefferson 42-21. Fredericktown ekes out a win over Windsor 41-38. Eureka defeats McClure 47-2. Perryville 49-8 over Herculaneum. 62-35 Chaminade over Hillsboro. Festus beats Farmington 34-0. DeSoto beats Potosi 20-13. North County beats St. Clair 33-14. Cuba beats Bayless 42-22. Parkway North beats Fox 35-14. Seckman beats Hazelwood West 41-7. Scotland County 44, Crystal City 20. Baylor, Tennessee 48, St. Pius X 7. St. Vincent 42, Grandview 20. And to round things out here, Summit beats Marquette 59-28. And we are going to start here with our first game of the week there. That was way back on Thursday, and man, it just seems like it was so long ago there, the 42-0 win over Parkway Central for Northwest. And man, you can't be I couldn't be more happy for a team like Northwest to really kind of right the ship, because it's been so long since they've been even close to 500, and now they're hovering right at it.
Yeah, you look 42-0 was a big win, that fourth win of the season. But you look at the night that Drew Spratt and Wes Knuckles had, and again, I think as we had talked about in the post-game show that night, that the numbers aren't really going to jump out and grab you. Like when you look at Spratt, was like 9 rushes, 44 yards, had an INT, a fumble recovery, 7 tackles. But that's kind of what you're going to get when you're getting possessions either at midfield or inside the opponent's 40-yard line. Because unless you'd either been at the game or watched our broadcast, you had a guy like Wes Knuckles had 2 receptions, 30 yards as blocking, but you have a 67-yard punt return or kickoff return. So when you only have like a 33-yard field to work with, or a 10-yard field to work with, that makes your job a little easier. And seeing that the Colts only had 85 total yards, a lot of those came in the fourth quarter because really Northwest just imposed their will throughout the whole game. And the Colts 85 total yards in that, and the Lions just put a stranglehold on them.
Yeah, big night out of Cohen Stark as well. I was pretty impressed with the sophomore quarterback, coming in there. He's not a little kid, and very poised, very got that football IQ to where he knows what he can and can't do and what he should and shouldn't do. So as a sophomore, that's pretty impressive. So kudos there to the Northwest Lions and their first win. Well, good evening and welcome to Friday Night Blitz on live stream STL. We were at the Blue Jay Nest here at Jefferson High School in Festus, Missouri, home to the Jefferson Blue Jays. The St. Genevieve Dragons are in town. Big boy battle here between both these teams here. Two really good teams going to go at it.
Late in the year, obviously this is a non-conference.
Yeah.
So, but it's a good yardstick for both of these teams. Obviously, we mentioned the Blue Jays coming in 5-2, taking on the 4-3 Dragons. As they say in wrestling, this should be a slobber knocker.
There you go.
2 years ago, last time we played them at home, it was a real barn burner. Came down to really the final drive of the game, and we had a couple good plays that were called back from penalties, and could have put ourselves in a position. We ended up not being able to do so, and I think we lost 42-34. And then last year, I don't think we really matched up to them really well, and we kind of got just the doors blown off us. I think we match up to them quite a bit better this year. We have some big boys up front. I think our O-line and D-line are pretty salty. So, I think it's going to be a physical game. I think it's going to be kind of reminiscent of the Central game we played earlier in the year of, just a hard-fought game, and it's going to come down to who's going to play the cleanest game and who's going to be the most physical.
Luke Ferranto in shotgun. Keeper up the middle. He's got blue skies, and he glides into the end zone. Ferranto with a 14-yard run. And in motion. Throws it. Bueller Oh, this is a foot race. 40, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. Number 10, Noah Bueller. Mentioned that he was in the game 2 plays ago, and he sprinted down the sideline. And the short handoff. Number 7 this time breaks through. Breaks a tackle. He's headed for the pylon. He's going to get there. Touchdown. 24-yard scamper right there by Owen Roth. Or right to left. This time they go to the right. Schweigert cuts through the middle, still going, churning forward, and drags the defender into the end zone. Schweigert with a 9-yard touchdown run. Quarterback. Schweigert breaks a tackle and scoots on into the end zone for a 4-yard touchdown. Schweigert initially stops, second effort, gets into the end zone. First and goal. Frisk keeps it, dashes, and he just waltzes into the end zone. 2-yard touchdown, Cooper Frisk. And it's kind of like we thought it was going to be. It's been a war in the trenches, and after an initial surge by the Dragons, an answer just moments before halftime for the Blue Jays. Great sign. Yeah. Verano keeps it off the left side, makes a move. He's inside the 40, inside the 30. He's got one man to beat. He's going to go all the way down the sideline. Touchdown. And how about that? Shift from the right to the left. Ferranto hands off. Schweigert goes around, trying to get to the outside, cuts it up, cuts inside the 5, and he dives forward for a touchdown. 9-yard touchdown. Bueller to the bottom. He's going to cut. Does a little out move. Touchdown. 15-yard pass to Bueller. I didn't even look at the top of the field because after that last one, I'm like, you got to go right back to him. That might be the last play of the game, and it is. That is your ball game. The St. John Dragons 42, the Jefferson Blue Jays 21.
Moving over to our next game here, Jefferson gets defeated by the St. Genevieve Dragons there, 42-21. We had that particular game as well there. It was a big boy football on both sides, but I really kind of felt like, the bigger boys, those corn-fed boys down there in St. Genevieve, just a little bit bigger. Some big games out of a lot of their defense as well. So, just a great win for the Dragons.
Yeah, they got after it. Coop, 22 rushes, 128, had a rush TD, a 2-point conversion. Passing 9 of 20, so just a tick under 50% for 170 yards, 2 TDs, 2 picks. Nice job by Bueller, collecting 8 of those 9, 160 yards, 2 TDs. So Bueller showing, just stepping in this second half of the season. At least that's what I've seen since about, say, week 4, week 5. I've seen his name a little more prominent in the stat sheet. So great job by Bueller and Coop. But, took one on the chin as the Dragons double them up, 42-21.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to hurt their district numbers all that much, because they played up. They played up a division, and I think it's kind of sets them up. I know they got a tough one coming this week against St. Vincent, but still I think where they're at, they're still in really good shape for week 1 there. It looks like they might be playing Priory that week 1 there.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Windsor High School, home of the Windsor Owls here in Imperial, Missouri, where they will be welcoming the Fredericktown Black Cats in for a football game on this beautiful Friday night here in Missouri.
Well, I think they have a very sound quarterback, and they've got a receiver or two that can catch the ball, and so offensively they've got a couple guys that can make you pay if you let them loose. Defensively, they have a decent defensive line. Some relatively big kids up front, and some linebackers that can play. So, we're going to have our work cut out for us as far as trying to establish what we want to do.
1,000 cuts with the run game. So Patterson back under center again. Hand off to Coleman. He's going to sneak through. He gets in. Give him 6. WC3, number 13 at quarterback, gives another handoff. They come around nearest us this time. There's Baca down to the 10. Pushed out. He dives at the end, and they're going to call a touchdown. Tristan Cotton, the other one. And they're going to sneak it in, give him 6. That was Luke Patterson. Haneke in the defensive secondary. Here's a rollout by Wood. Go to the corner. He has his man, has Baca, give him 6. Bring in Big Maddox Neppers at 6'1", 240. He's built like a stack of bricks. So he's going to lead the way for Wood. He's going to go in and give him 6 on that carry. Right. Catchings is the one wide receiver nearest us. Far screen pass, and that is going to go to the house. That is Derek Irby. Top. And they're going to fake. They're going to go to Catchings right through the end zone. Give him 6. That'll bring up at least like a 3rd and 4. Relatively manageable here. Patterson's going to keep his own number. He breaks to the outside, sticks the ball out. Give him 6. Handoff, push through. Got to be a touchdown on that. There was enough of a tush push on that, and give him 6. Gabriel's going to come nearest, tight end position, nearest us. Tristan Cotton as well. He's going to go in motion. They give it to Cotton. He goes around the outside. He spins in. Give him 6. Touchdown, Windsor. Tristan Cotton. Baca's going to be in the backfield. They're running the big package now. There's Proffer. He comes in motion. And he's going to sneak it in, and that is how the ball game is going to end. Fredericktown sticks it in right at the end, and you see everybody, Logan Wilson on down. As Wood sneaks it in for Fredericktown.
Let's move on to the Windsor-Fredericktown game there. You were on the call on that particular game there. Fredericktown, again, kind of on a last-minute play there, comes out with the victory 41-38. So give us the thoughts on that game.
Well, again, this was another week, 2 weeks in a row where Windsor takes one on the chin because of last-second touchdowns. That the week before, they lost 14-12 to North County. They scored a touchdown, went in the final 2 seconds of the game, couldn't get another 2-point conversion to tie it up. And this week they had the lead, and I think as Coach Freeman said in the postgame show, just simply they scored and gave Fredericktown just too much time on the clock. But again, it was a well-coached game, but the thing that'll kill you was the turnovers. And when you face a tough team like Fredericktown, that they turned around in 2 plays, 2 turnovers. They turn around in 2 plays, put 2 TDs up in 20 seconds. That was essentially the ball game there in the third quarter. That, they distanced themselves a bit. Windsor, to their credit, comes back. Great job by Logan Wilson and the Owls, but it was just, again, when you give a team too much time on the clock and everybody's got all their timeouts, it just turns into that proverbial chess match that, the Black Cats, sneak one out. Logan Wilson, I had him unofficially at 138 yards. 39 of them came on an extra 39 on toss pitches because those are seen as passing stats. Had a 2-point tackle, kept 2 points off the board. Had a fumble recovery, had 10-plus tackles on defense to go along with a punt return and a kickoff return, as well as DJ Baca, the kicker for Fredericktown. I mean, you talk about a leg on that young man. I think that, the only one punt or kickoff return that Logan was able to get was because Baca just kept bombing him through the end zone, and it looked like I was watching an NFL game. That like it was just kind of becoming rudimentary to do the kickoff, just just give the ball to, Windsor at the 20 and be done with it. But Fredericktown's going to be tough. And again, this was a team that, they took the defending state champ Central Rebels to double overtime in week 3. So Fredericktown's one of those teams kind of like a Bayless. Like, don't let the record fool you. Don't sleep on them.
Right.
Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Blitz. We are here at Eureka High School in Eureka, Missouri. It is senior night at Wildwood Stadium where the Wildcats will take on the McClure Comets.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of like every single week, just coming out and, doing what we do, knowing how we're going to have to win on defense, knowing how we're going to win on offense, and how we need to execute on special teams. And this being senior week, just, there's a week throughout the season when we don't have to worry about our kids coming out, and being senior night, the night of that game, just, to have our kids come out, it's an emotional game, proud, those guys that pour all that love and time, effort, and sacrifice in our program, we get to recognize. So be pretty exciting for those guys they step on for the last regular season home game that we have.
That lower leg injury last week. They said he could play, but he is out. And we see a touchdown on a nice reverse there. That is going to be Ashby with the carry. Blake Ashby gets in on the first play for a Wildcat touchdown. We're going to give the ball to Kodak up the middle. He hobbles, dodges a tackle, and he's going to take that one to the house. So 25-yard touchdown run for Trevor Kodak. Players get set as we get to the playoffs and nearing the start of the playoffs. So don't be surprised if you see a number of different numbers in the backfield. Hutchcraft again going to fake the handoff. Nobody open. He's going to take this one himself, and they're not going to catch him as he's going to be able to walk right in an 11-yard touchdown run with 1 second remaining in the first. Looking for a reverse here. It's going to be a reverse pass. Wide open is Ringy. So Larry Reed is going to connect with Ringy on the 43-yard wide receiver pass. Got Reed to the near side of the field. Rivers checks at the top. Hutchcraft looking for his receiver over the middle, and it is caught wide open for the touchdown. Time Reed comes in motion. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Good burst, and into the end zone is Gustafson. So another touchdown on the ground for the Wildcats. And Jake Aller. So we'll pause for the play. Oh, high snap. It's going to get over the head of Kim back into the end zone. He's going to be tackled for a safety. And so the McClure defense is the one that breaks the 0 and put 2 points on the board. Webb in the backfield. Kim going to turn and hand it off to him. He's got some space. He bursts up the middle. 15-yard touchdown run for Brandon Webb. And still running. That will probably be our final play of the game as Eureka is going to walk away with a 47-2 victory.
The Eureka McClure game, another great big win there for the Wildcats, and they continue. They are 8-0, and not a whole lot looks to me like can stop them the regular season here, and they'll probably end up with a first round bye for that first round of districts.
Yeah, this is like one of these teams you throw them in like with a Seckman maybe, to where it's like the only thing getting in their way would probably be themselves, and knocking up McClure 47-2. Craig Ringy once again. He only had 3 catches on the night, but 2 of those go to the house. One of those receptions came from a flea flicker from Larry Reed, who got one of those TD passes to Ringy. But a great night by Hutchcraft to just step in. 10 of 14 for 116 yards, 2 TDs. So that was just a good night to give like Hobelman a night off along with Kodak, and just let everybody, as coaches would say, this was a great game to just kind of like heal, repair, refresh, and get ready for the final push. And then playoffs will be starting here in 2 weeks.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Friday Night Blitz on a Saturday afternoon. We're live from Perryville High School in Perryville, Missouri, home to the Perryville Pirates. The Perryville Pirates are going to be hosting the Herculaneum Blackcats, coming down from Jefferson County. Ray Halbrook, Drake Beekman, and we've got the tight quarters here, but we've got Brian Kappiger back behind us here. And
yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big one. I mean, you talk about Cade Lucky, their quarterback. I mean, dual threat. He can throw the ball. He's going to run it as well. But I think it all hinges on halfback Barrett Wheeler. I mean, young man is a tank. I mean, that's the best way I can kind of describe him watching some of the videos.
I coached under Coach Boss. He was the first coach that I coached under at Perryville. You know, I've been here my entire career, and I learned a lot from him, have a lot of respect for the way he does things. And it's always a fun matchup between us. You know, we have a lot of respect for each other. You know, I know they're having a tough year. You know, I think he would say the same thing. They finally got their first win last week, so you know, maybe they're starting to figure things out a little bit and have a little bit of confidence coming into this game. But you know, if we do what we're capable of doing and take care of business, we should be able to handle things. We just got to make sure we take care of the football and offense, and you know, just tackle on defense. That's every week. That's really what defense is, right? You know, you're eventually, most of the times you're going to get there. It's a matter, you're going to make the tackle or not. So
to the left of the quarterback, Lucky. Handoff to the near side. He cuts all the way around everyone. He throws a stiff arm, and he is going to find his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Perryville. Quickly putting points up on the board, just a minute and 40 seconds into the ballgame.
Of the pass plays.
Pirates take over in the offensive side of the field for him. A quick pass to Sealer here by Lucky, and he's got some room. And there he goes to the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Perryville. Lucky in shotgun. Drops back looking to his left. He's looking for a receiver. That's caught, and touchdown, Perryville. Evan Hayden, the receiver, with the touchdown, extending the lead to 27-0. Perryville on a high formation now for the Pirates for the first time. Handoff to Wheeler on the inside. He has a great hole. Cuts to the near side, looking to break a tackle, and he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Wheeler. Touchdown, Pirates. The lefty having a boot for himself, and that's a long one as well. Tanner Duncan trying to field it. He drops it, though. He's going to pick it up at his own 1-yard line, try and make something out of this one. And he gets dropped instantly. The ball comes out into the end zone, and the Pirates are going to recover for a touchdown. A great kick by the freshman, Wilson Xavier. Trouble by Tanner Duncan returning that one. You know, just to kind of go over the first half, Perryville scored, and then Perryville scored, and then Perryville scored.
again.
And then they scored 2 more times, and now it's 42-0.
And then there was a fumble, and they scored again.
There was a fumble in the end zone on a kickoff that resulted in a Perryville touchdown.
Yes.
I mean, you know, we kind of hinted at it at the beginning that everything is swinging the Pirates' favor in this one. And unfortunately for Herculaneum, it's reigning true as it, like we said, 42-0 going into the second half. Going to have a running clock from the jump as they are ahead by more than 35 points.
Right.
So, you know, not a whole lot of time for Herculaneum to try and make anything out of this game if they can't seem to get less than 35 points behind. But we'll see what the teams had to chit-chat about at halftime. Getting into this game. But the Blackcats are driving. Fake handoff inside to Luke Bryce, and he is going to go untouched into the end zone for the Blackcats, getting their first touchdown of the afternoon. And with that, clock is going to wind down. That's going to be the final play of the game, 2 seconds and 1. And that is going to be your final score this afternoon. The Perryville Pirates are going to take a 49-8 victory over the traveling Herculaneum Blackcats. In a pretty one-sided affair, the Pirates got off to a quick lead, and they never looked back.
Moving right along here, the Perryville Herculaneum game there, 49-8. We had that particular game Saturday. So, yeah, you know, there was a whole lot of just, you know, not a lot of hope. You would think that in that particular game, when you're taking a look at the records, especially with Perryville, you know, now going to 7-1, Herculaneum drops to 1-7 there. You know, the woes continue for the Blackcats, but you know, to me, I feel like this is a great turning point for Perryville. I think there'll be a bid for them to move back up into the large schools possibly in the next year or two. So, I mean, if they continue to have, great seasons here, I think that's just kind of an automatic that will end up happening there.
I saw them up close and personal in week 2, Ray. Would you say the same thing, having seen them up close and personal, just how big these guys are
Big
across
boys.
the board?
Yeah. Big
I mean,
boys.
and I don't know how close you got to see him on the field, but that Wheeler kid is just even bigger than what he looks on the TV screen. And their linemen, I mean, you go up and down. I mean, they're the real deal. And
Yeah.
again, I think they're another one of those teams that, you throw in the mix that I think, quite honestly, Perryville, the only thing in their way is just themselves. And you rarely see them take the bad penalties, the mental mistakes. You still see these on a number of teams, even into week 8. But even back whenever I'd done them in week 2 or week 3, I think when they played DeSoto,
Yeah.
I mean, you just see it up and down week after week. These guys don't shoot themselves in the foot. The commitment to, again, like that football IQ we talk about, that there's never a good time to take a penalty or anything, but they just find a way not to do it. And I think that goes back to the coaching as well too. And it just comes on down. And when you get guys like Lucky and Michael, and then you throw in Barrett Wheeler, I mean, it's just going to be tough. And you know what? And I had Herky only as my bold prediction on this, just because of that win last week to get them off the schneid, and just to see what the response was going to be against Perryville. And Perryville just showed they're just a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely. Let's take a look into some other games here. Well, unfortunately, the Hillsboro Hawks, they're struggling this year right now. Dropping to Chaminade. Now Chaminade's no slouch at all. They're a premier team there, 62-35. Festus again continues the dominance right now, and they're flying high. But let's buzz down through here. Maybe pick a couple games here and get your thoughts on there, Matt.
Well, I mean, Chaminade, and you know what, and I guess as Coach Saharsky would tell you too, I mean, their non-conference schedule was no joke. I mean, when you throw Country Day in there, you throw SLU, Chaminade in there. Now, I will say this, though, my 2 cents on this game, 5 TDs in the first quarter. I mean, this was 35-14 after 1, 48-14 at the half. So you were just a tick away from a rolling clock on a Hillsboro Hawk football team that would have to tell you the level of the opponent that you were facing against if Coach Saharsky and the boys are almost in a rolling clock situation. But I saw this Madden Irving kid that had 7 TDs for Chaminade. And when I'm going through the score sheet, I see that he scored his 7th touchdown with 46 seconds left in the game. And that really got under my skin that, if you're already up by about 20 plus on a team in the fourth quarter, right now that's just a slap in the face.
Yeah.
That's just trying to pad stats. If you're up by 20 plus under a minute left to go, and you still have your running back out there who I guess is looking for some, I don't know if he gets some sort of compensation for 7 TDs in a game, but I mean, unless there's another reason you can tell me that he's still out there with 40 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
I would love to hear what the response would be, but yeah, Chaminade, they rolled up 621 total yards of offense. Not to be outdone, Hillsboro, they were just a tick under 400. So this was slinging it and bringing it all night. And I guess you don't get to 97 points in a ball game without putting up close to 1,000 yards of total offense. But I still want to call BS on that 7 TD game there by Mr. Irving, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I can think of is they may have had a certain number of points or a certain number of something that had to mathematically work out for your points in Michigan, but I would think you've already gotten it by then.
As I was told in a non-conference game, the beauty points, all you have to do is win by 13. That's all you can get.
Right. So yeah.
So anything more than that, that's just that's where I'm blowing the BS whistle.
That's on your coach at that point. No doubt about that. And I'll defend that till the cows come home.
Great night by Leonte Williams at Festus. 21 carries, 141, 2 TDs. Aiden Clifton finally getting some love in the passing game as he hauled in two TDs on 3 catches. I look at Crystal City hanging in there against Scotland County. The Rico Pastrana sandwich had a 43-yard TD run, had 7 tackles on the night. Nolan and Trent Eisenbeis combined for 25 collective tackles. As we move down, Grandview, St. Vincent, I mean, you talk about a tough day at the office. You look at Isaac Walker, 7 rushes for 121. Wyatt Kime, 5 rushes for 140. So those 2 guys alone knocked down 260 on the ground. Then you add, they had a collective 20 total tackles. So St. Vincent, I mean, they just must have had TDs in their back pocket to burn to put up a 42 spot. So,
Right.
not having much in the stat column for St. Vincent, but I mean, it was just that had to be, again, some back and forth football that when I saw the numbers on Walker and Kime, I was just like, stop the presses. How did they only ring up 20? But not to be outdone, DeSoto, they get their 4th win of the season over a tough Potosi team. Brenton Drummond, 2 TDs. He was 20 for 136 on the ground. Tebow, 13 for 84. But he had 19 total tackles in the game for Eli Tebow.
Wow.
And again, Drummond, 2 TDs. Eli had 1. And so, but as I think Coach said in the postgame show, another great job by Austin Missy that, they're not going to kill you with the passing game. But right now, as we talk week after week, whether it's me, Caps, and Drake or Jeff, that, just as long as you're effective in the passing game,
Right.
It may not be pretty, but as long as you can be effective, it gives the other team just a pause that, as opposed to rushing 8 in the box to make you throw the ball. If you're back there slinging it, so maybe you go, 4 of 7 for the night, and you have kind of like a Seckman-esque kind of approach to the night that, that they might throw the ball 7-8 times, but they're going to be effective when they do. That just, I think, gives your defensive approach another just element that you got to be ready for. And I guess last game might be the Seckman team going to 8-0 at that 41-7, and talk about QBs and running backs. Brady Ambrose, 7 rushes, 101 yards, and a TD. The defense had 4 sacks. Dylan Lappy with 11 total tackles. The thing that stands out, though, right now to me in Seckman, and I just wanted to do a little deeper dive, that, yes, in week 1, everybody, is 0-0 on the season. I get that. But as we move down, I was just looking at the records of the teams that Seckman has beaten. Outside of week 1, Parkway West, who's now 5-3, that's the only team with a winning record that Seckman has beaten this year. Everybody else is at an under 500 or worse. And so that just kind of stands out to me, being the numbers guy, that, when you look at a Hillsborough team and the toughness of their schedule per se, then you see what Seckman's doing. You just wonder, will they be able to flip the switch when those tougher games do come up? Right. When as we say, when the second season rolls around. So I don't know. That's just something that I just say, just look at that. I think there is something to be said about that. Not saying that they haven't been playing tough football, but when you just look at the records, though, when you haven't played anybody except one team that's above 500, that just kind of jumps off the page at you.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm looking at here is, the demeanor and just the attitude this season is a little different. I mean, there's a certain, sense of, business as usual.
I was just going to say that, business-like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's go about our business. But at the same time, they're not taking their eyes off the prize this season. I really think that the focus this year is we're doing everything we can to minimize mistakes, to minimize the shenanigans and things like that they've had in the past, for big games, and, focusing to do the right things for that big game coming up here in the next few weeks.
And, one other little nugget is, if you look at the Fox Parkway North game, yes, Fox lost 35-14. They had 306 yards on the ground on 59 rushes. They did not throw the ball one time.
Wow. There you go.
So there's your little stat nugget of the week there. And but yeah, what a week it was. Some of these non-conference games, I'm telling you, these were just smash mouth in your face, just punch for punch. We're going to score. Can you score with us? And And as you saw, like in the Windsor game, we're going to keep scoring until the final horn blows, and whoever's last man standing, that's what's going to come of it. So, yeah.
It is now time for our honorable mention segment, and it is as follows. We're going to give an honorable mention to the entire Northwest team for a complete team win. Love that game. Just took care of business, did not take anything for granted, and just put together a complete win, offense and defense wise. Loved that. The Eureka Wildcats, Craig Ringy, 2 receptions, 62 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. Not a bad day at the office again for Mr. Ringy. Seckman's Brady Ambrose, 7 rushes, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown. And for Grandview, we're going to do the dynamic duo there of Wyatt Kime, 5 rushes, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, 12 tackles. And Isaac Walker, the big guy there, 7 rushes, 121 yards, and 8 tackles on the season there for that particular game. And, decent days out of these teams. Give you a chance to elaborate on some of these honorable mentions there, Matt.
Yeah, I like the complete win for that Northwest team, and like I said, there were so many pieces in that win that I think the collective effort for the Northwest Lions. I mean, so that's essentially just a shout out to everybody and the hard work to get win number 4 again on a program that had 1 win all the last year, and and let's face it, is not normally seen as a powerhouse or
Right.
a threat. But
Right.
now that you've opened up some eyes with win number 4, and I say that as you go down and you look at like your DeSoto's, again, teams that some in like week 1 you would kind of like highlight as we go along, that like, hey, maybe this is where we can maybe heal, get some other of our other work in against some of these teams that we're highlighting.
Yeah.
They're not going to be doormats for much longer. And as you saw with Coach Gerling, you see it with Coach Schmidt. When you get the buy-in, I mean, it doesn't hurt to have the player personnel as well too. But once you can get the buy-in and you get the kids with the football IQ and you start putting things together, you see how this can like build and breed. And again, when you can talk about like a Northwest team or a DeSoto team to where you're talking 5 wins now, you're eking out maybe a win or 2 in conference to where other teams now, like your Festus's, your Hillsboroughs, as you saw DeSoto, that first half against Hillsborough. I mean, they were up, got to halftime. Yeah, they were only down by like 4 points, but that was probably like a game, if you highlighted that you were thinking, okay, this is going to be an easy week for Hillsborough. Not so fast.
Right.
So, yeah, look up and down. Ringy, again, from a tight end perspective and what he brings to the table, it just seems like every other time he touches the ball, it's going to the house in some capacity, and also kicking the ball as well, too. I mean, not often your tight ends, also your field goal kicker, extra point kicker, kind of like your Jefferson County version of Isaac Walker. But again, and speaking of the devil, him and Kime, again, doing what they do week after week. So, yeah, great job, everybody that was on the list. And, a great team win by the Northwest Lions.
Hey, we are here catching up with our player of the week, the Upon Further Review player of the week, and it is none other than Logan Wilson from the Windsor Owls. Logan, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing very well. How about you?
Awesome. Hey, you had a pretty good day at the office Friday night. 19 rushes, 138 yards, a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, 39 yards receiving. You had a 2-point conversion stop, so that was awesome. 10-plus tackles on defense, a fumble recovery, 20-yard punt return, and an 11-yard kickoff return. If you could add anything else, it would be just icing on the cake here. So take us through your game Friday night against Fredericktown.
Our game plan was just to go in there and just score right off the bat and just keep going, try to put it away early. And obviously we tried that, and we came up real close. We were so close. Scored the first drive. Later in the game, we had 1 second left down at the 1. We were winning it, and we just ended up not being able to get it.
Yeah, tough one there. 41-38 loss to Fredericktown. But this season seems like under the new regime here with Coach Lee Freeman behind the helm there, you guys seem to be getting a little bit better each week. We've been kind of tracking you guys, but you starting to get the Lee Freeman offense and defense a little bit more underneath you guys.
Yeah, I've been liking the playbook a lot. I mean, we've adjusted a lot, a whole new playbook this summer, and we just went off run with it. We just keep building off of it every week, and I mean, we're getting there. We're very close.
Good.
I can feel it. We're going to get better.
Yeah, good deal there. You said you were a junior. We were talking a little bit before this here. Junior, are you looking at any colleges right now?
Yes, I have been. I've been going to a couple prospect camps, trying to get myself in front of as many coaches as I can. Just trying to get exposure, and just
awesome.
Mostly the camps and stuff.
Great. You guys got Bayless this week. Bayless is kind of a, they're either really, really on or sometimes just having a hard time getting out of first gear. But just depends on what they give you on this Friday. But what's the game plan going into the game this Friday?
I do not know the game plan yet. We watched some film on them. I just gotta watch film, gotta prepare for their offense, and we gotta, just gotta react, be quick on our feet.
There you go. Hey, you only do what you can do there, though. We appreciate the time. Congratulations on being Player of the Week, and good luck this week.
Thank you, sir.
That is Logan Wilson from the Windsor Owls. It's time for our Week 9 schedule. It's Week 9, Matt. Can you believe we're at the end of the regular season?
I don't know about you, but this thing's just flown by.
Absolutely flown by. Here are the matchups here. Poplar Bluff at Hillsboro. We'll have that on Livestream STL. St. Vincent at Jefferson, same on Livestream STL. Grandview at Crystal City on Livestream STL. Other games will be Festus at Jackson, Windsor at Bayless, Herculaneum is at DeSoto, North County's at Sullivan, Perryville's at Cuba, Valley Catholic at St. Pius X, Eureka is at Pattonville, Ladue at Fox, Webster Groves at Seckman, and Northwest is at Oakville. Let's talk a little bit about our top three games there. The Poplar Bluff, Hillsboro, St. Vincent taking on Jefferson and Crystal City and Grandview.
Well, I think Hillsboro's going to have their work cut out once again. I mean, facing this Poplar Bluff Mule team, I mean, they're going to come in from down south in the state, and they're just going to sing it and bring it. And the Hawks have just got to be ready for another week of smash mouth football. St. Vincent, Jefferson, that's going to be Indians coming up. And, again, Jefferson's just going to have to buckle up and be ready. This is after, facing a St. John team. When these guys come up from that St. John, Perry County, down in that area, you got to buckle up for the ride, and you got to be ready. Grandview, Crystal City, I'll be on the call for that one. That's, again, just going to be, another week of smash mouth football that, you're going to have Pastrana, Eisenbeises, and on the other side, your Kimes, Walkers. That's just going to be a fun day. And I'm looking up and down this list that I really, I wouldn't say that there's like a bold prediction, because like if you look at Festus Jackson, that's just going to be, again, smash mouth football. That's going to be tough as heck.
Mm-hmm, yeah. You
look at Perryville, Cuba. You look at Eureka, Pattonville, Valley, St. Pius, Ladue, Fox. I don't think there's really like a bold prediction. I would say, like, if there's a game that I would highlight, I like the DeSoto Herky game just because of everything that's on the table. You got a possible 5-win season for the Dragons, and you also have Papa Tebow's beard on the line as well, too.
I forgot about that.
Kind of like, if you look like me and you, like a before after, as like a Brett Tebow shot that, before the Herky game, after the Herky game, and you've got, shout out to Papa Tebow and what he decided to put on the line for that. So I would say that might be my boldest of bold predictions, because again, as I'm looking at these games up and down,
right,
it's just, I don't think to say there's like a bold winner if someone comes away with a win on this. I think the only thing that's going to be bold is going to be the bruises and, all the pounding that is going to go on in these ball games, to where if I had to take, a bold prediction on anything, I don't know, maybe let's just say Festus beats Jackson. But then again, I mean, when you got Jackson coming in at, I think a 2-loss season, and they're facing off against the Tigers again, the only thing that when you look up and down, the only thing that's going to get in their way are going to be the teams that I think make the most mistakes, and again, that beat themselves.
Right.
So I'll send it back to you. Let me know if you see something that jumps out.
I got one. I got the Crystal City Hornets playing a tight one against Grandview, and I also have a Crystal City Hornets finishing week 9 intact, and a situation where they are going to go into the playoffs. Contrary to other outlets have already written them off, you give the Crystal City Hornets all the love and all the praise on making it through a season. They're going to make it. And, I felt like they were at that point a couple of weeks ago. We kind of seen what was going on throughout the season here, and you see, hey, they're still here. Hey, they're still here. It's week 3. It's week 4. It's week 5. They're going to make it. They're going to make it into the playoffs, and they might even win a playoff game. Who knows? It depends on where things land for them.
Hey, all you got to do is if you follow a program and invest in it in a little bit, and you see what we've done from week 1.
Yep.
I think week after week, I've talked about this very game, that I'm surprised both teams are still standing.
Yep.
Given one, the lack of players that they have on the team. The teams that they have played up to this point, and the fact that they still have a gas tank that hasn't been, heavily depleted, that says something about both these programs. And so that's why I say, if Crystal City comes out on top, ain't going to surprise me.
Right.
If Grandview comes out on top, ain't going to surprise me. But I can tell you, at the end of the day, whenever we hang up the microphones and we check out for the night, there's going to be some big boy football that has been played. And again, whether that's like at a Class 2 or whether you go on up to the Class 6s with Northwest Oakville,
right,
you are going to be feeling this. And so, I purely expect, again, a barn burner, a Donnybrook, whatever you want to call it,
right,
for any of these games this week. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, that wraps up week 8 for us here. We'll be back with week 9 next week. Probably one of our last. I don't know. We'll see if we're going to do some more here and there, depending on how things turn out after the first week of districts. But we'll definitely do that.
We're going to have to do like a UFR, like playoff show.
Yeah, right? We'll have to do something. We'll have to do something like that, and see what we come up with there. But for Matt Bates, for Ray Halbrook, don't forget, we've got plenty of things going on this week. Tune in to Livestream STL TV on our website, Livestream STL app on Roku, and don't forget to tune in also Friday Night Blitz post game at 10 p.m. where we catch up with all of our coaches in the area here. For Matt Bates, Ray Halbrook, thanks again for watching. Upon further review. Thanks for watching today's broadcast. Any unauthorized use of this broadcast without the express written consent of Livestream STL is strictly prohibited.